Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I'm about to protect the undercarriage here. Late fall, best time to protect them before we get into wintertime, before they lay that first layer of salt and brine down on the roads to treat them for snow and ice. And this is the perfect candidate right here. Not a whole lot going on underneath, which is surprising. The vehicle nearing 20 years old, almost 200,000 miles, looks damn good underneath here, and I'm going to show that to you. So now is the best time to start to protect it. I don't believe this vehicle spent its whole life here in the Northeast. I'm from Pennsylvania, and up here with the weather and the way they have to treat the roads, the underneath of these vehicles get really nasty really quick. So I think we're going to save this just in time. Let's get to work. Up on the lift we have our lighting set up. Plenty of light, and back here is always going to be the worst of it, and this looks good. The worst of it's going to be the axle, as always, and it's going to be these areas here, and this isn't bad. This isn't bad. This is just surface bubbling and peeling of the paint. Nothing really serious at all. Really, really good. At the seams, take a look at all the seams. Just some light surface stuff going on here. Not bad at all. That's the worst part of it. The rockers going all the way up through. They look great. Everything looks good. Looks like the exhaust, most of it is rather new. So that's good to see. We just have some small leaks up front here, but the front even looks good. That looks good. Just surface. I'll show you what to do to prep these surfaces that have that surface bubbling and rust. I'll show you what to do here. We have a little bit of a leak. There's a blowout, the rack and pinion, light leak. And there was a boot here that was fixed, that was coming off. So that's fixed. We have lower control arm, looks like it's been replaced. And the knuckle. Yeah, so somebody's been keeping after it. Looks rather good for the mileage. So let's protect it. So there are a couple ways to protect the undercarriage, guys. Let's go over to the table, to the counter, and we'll go over those. With the shop manager in place, looking on, we have a couple examples here. Some like to do just regular paint. I don't like that. That locks moisture underneath. That can cause problems. Your rubberized undercoating can lock moisture underneath. That can cause problems. This stuff here, the popular thing right now is the bed liner, like Rust-Oleum has a version, Herculiner has one. That can also lock moisture underneath as well. I like using the fluid film, and there are, I don't know, 5 or 6 different versions of this, slightly different chemical makeup, that actually displaces the moisture eventually after you put it on. Instead of locking it under with some of this stuff, this displaces it as a penetrant and a lubricant. So I like to use the fluid film. You got wool wax, you have so many different types of versions, whatever floats your boat. But we're going to prep and apply the fluid film on the van today. My friends, a lot of the stuff out there, including paint and the rubberized undercoatings and Herculiners. So if this is the metal surface, and then you have a layer of either the paint, bed liner, or whatever, a rock can come in here and chip it. It can chip it all the way down to the metal. It can be shallow and then wear its way down. A stone chip or anything from the roadway can fly in and burrow deep into the coating. Then what happens, moisture gets in there and it works its way under on both sides, lifts it, and that's where you get the peeling. With the wool wax or fluid film, this is the metal surface, a layer of the fluid film, something comes in, flies in, digs into it, and ricochets off. The film can actually fill back in to a certain extent and prevent moisture from getting in here and working into the metal itself. So that's the difference. That's why I choose what I choose. With the amount of corrosion going on with this, I really only need two things, and that's a flathead screwdriver and a wire brush. Yeah, sure, you can get machines to help you. You can get a drill with a wire brush extension. Those are for the big jobs. For something that has very little corrosion such as this, these two tools, I'm going to get through the preparation process quickly. So the goal is to get down to bare metal. And the first thing is I'll come in with a flathead screwdriver, or if you have a chisel with a wide head to it. And I'll get all the loose paint and rust that's starting to flake. And I'll work those off and scrape those off first. Then I'll come in behind it with a wire brush and finish cleaning up. Getting down to the bare metal is the goal, wherever I can, where I can reach it. And just continue doing this all the way through wherever you find scaling or peeling or lifting. Okay, with that done, I'm going to attach the long nozzle to one or two of the cans. And from the front back, I'm going to work myself from the inside out, meaning I'm going to go in all these little holes that I can and get as much of the penetrant and protectant that I can, and I go back through, and then I'll get the outside with just the regular spray nozzle by itself. So I'll go impossible to get the inside perfectly, but you can do a damn good job getting where moisture can get up and work its way out from the inside, if that makes sense. I like to keep my recording equipment back as far as possible. You can see the floor getting shiny as this stuff is misting down onto the floor. Wear your old clothes, glasses, goggles, protective gear. You can use the can and its nozzle, or you can buy it by the gallon and buy a sprayer. But this is pretty much what it's going to look like after the first layer. I put 2 coats on, and it will cover those rusted areas. And you just work your way either from front to back or back to front, and get all of the areas that are important support beams. I like to get every nut and bolt that is under there as well, in case I ever have to work on it. But this is what it looks like. It should have a sheen to it, almost like a gloss. And again, work every area that you can reach with the can. This was done in the fall. Next year I'm going to do it in the fall, and the year after that, and the year after that, for as long as I have it. And no washing in between, no special cleaning in between. Salt will get at it during the winter time, and Mother Nature does a great job with rainfall throughout the spring and the fall to clean that out underneath there. And I just lift it and make sure there's no areas that have started to rust. If so, I will scrape that off, get it down to bare metal, and reapply the fluid film. Now, those areas that did start rust will not get any worse, and the areas that were clean will not start to rust. I can highly recommend this stuff. Out of everything that's out there, this is the safest. This will displace moisture instead of locking underneath, and will block that metal from getting oxygen. Guys, oxygen is the most important part of the equation when it starts to oxidation and rust. Moisture, H2O, and oxygen. More important, if you can block it from oxygen and displace the moisture, you got it. You have this project under control, and your undercarriage will look incredible and stay clean, rust-free for a long, long time. I'll put a link down below in the description box if you want to look into it further. There are many versions of this. This is my favorite. And if you have something that works for you, my gosh, stick with it, and maybe share it with us down in the comment section as well. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I'll catch you in the next video.